Hello, it's Graham Leach here, and today I'm going to take you through how to create a project schedule using Microsoft Project. The version of Project I'm using is Project 2016, but what I'm about to tell you really applies to any previous version and probably will apply to any future version. So, without any further ado, I'm going to kick off Project 2016. I'm going to select the software development plan template that's provided with Microsoft Project, hit the create button, and very quickly we have a very simple Microsoft Project schedule before our eyes. It just saves you watching me enter a whole heap of tasks. Just pull this across here, just make it a little bit more readable. Pull this back here. At the moment we're just displaying summary tasks. Summary tasks are always displayed like this, nicely set up. We're seeing every day of the week on our schedule. We just expand scope, and as you can see this is all fairly standard stuff. We have our tasks here, the resources here, the start date, finish date here, and the duration down here. Okay. First thing you have to do in Project, and probably even before you've created any tasks in an ideal world, is to go to the Project Options screen. You get to that by selecting File in the top left hand corner, scrolling down to Options, select on Options, and we have a whole heap of project options that we can choose from here. Now, most of the default options are perfectly fine and you don't have to change them. You can go through this at your leisure and see what you might like to change. A lot of it is fairly obvious, yeah, it's just your personal preference, but there are a few key things that I would suggest you do at the start of your project, even before you started entering any tasks. Although if you have entered tasks, not the end of the world. As we can see from this example, we've got a whole bunch of tasks on our project schedule. We can still go in and fix a few things. First thing I want to do, and I always do, is I always make sure that my date format includes the actual day, not just the date, not just the day, month and year, but also the day described as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. Make sure that's there. When you look at a bunch of dates, you want to know if something's starting on a Monday or finishing on a Friday. So select a date format with a day at the beginning. Next option, display. Okay, most of this is pretty good, no need to change any of it. What I would suggest you do is that you change the currency to your home currency. So let's scroll up to the top. I'm currently in Australia, so I'm going to select Australian dollars for my currency. Okay, but that's all we really need to change there. Next item is schedule. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to see my weeks starting on a Monday. I consider the start of my working week on a Monday, and selecting Monday means that how the Gantt chart is displayed in Microsoft Project is much easier to read if the start of the week is Monday. So select Monday. The only other task I would suggest that the only other item I would suggest that you look at here and consider changing is new task created. Make sure it is auto-scheduled. Auto-scheduled is really best practice for when you're creating schedules in Microsoft Project. So I've already got that set. That means proofing, we don't do anything. Save, we don't really do anything there. Language, yeah, all good. So really that's pretty much all we change on project options. So if we just click OK. Okay, the next thing we want to change is the project information. So if we go up to here, project, we've got this little icon down here called project information. There's only really one thing we want to change here, and that is the start date. We want to have a meaningful start date, probably something, well, obviously something related to when our actual start date is. So what I'm going to do for the benefit of this project, I'm going to say, well, this project actually is starting in a few months' time. In fact, it's not going to start until the 5th of December 2016. So we say that is the date at the start of our project. And we select OK. And we can see up here that the start of the project is now the 5th of the 12th, 2016. All good. Okay, the next item we want to change is the calendar. The standard calendar that comes with Microsoft Project does not include public holidays, and what this means is that you can find the situation where people are working over Christmas. For instance, Monday the 26th of December 2016 is a public holiday, but apparently we've got some work going on here. So this is the task that is occurring on Monday the 26th. If we just come back up here to task, this is a neat little trick. Scroll to task, we can see that the project manager is working on Boxing Day, a public holiday in 2016. As a project manager, I take a dim view of anyone working on a public holiday, but especially myself, the project manager. Joke. I take a dim view of anyone working on a public holiday. Okay, so to remedy that, we have to set up a calendar which includes public holidays. Not a difficult task if you know what to do, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we're going to go up to project, and we're going to change the working time. We're going to make sure that no one works on the 26th of the 12th, 2016, or any other public holiday. Come to that. This is made slightly more complicated by the fact we've already assigned someone to work on that day, but it's probably a useful exercise to see how we can sort that out. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to create a calendar that has public holidays included in it. So as I say, we go up to change working time, click on that, and you can see that we've got the standard project calendar that comes with Microsoft Project. It does not include any public holidays. So if we just scroll through to December, you can see that the 26th of December and the 27th, which are public holidays, are not grayed out, which means they're set as working days. We're going to create a new calendar that will include public holidays, and we do that by pressing the Create Calendar button. And we're going to just rename it. We're not going to say it's copy of standard. We're going to say standard plus public holidays. Okay, and so we're going to create that calendar. We've done it. It's as simple as that. Now what we have to do is we have to go through the calendar for at least the duration of our project and set up public holidays. Not a difficult task, really. So, number of ways of doing it. One of the easiest, you select your day here, which is the public holiday. It's Boxing Day. So we go down here, we're going to give it a name, and we can say Christmas break. That's how we're going to describe this. Click on Start. Okay, so starting on the 26th, finishing on the 26th. So most public holidays are just one day in duration, but obviously the Christmas break is generally Christmas Day and Boxing Day, and it's 2 days that are generally consecutive days, and that is the case on December 2016. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, yep, the start date is the 26th, but the finish is the 27th. Click on Details. It's non-working time. It starts on the 26th, and sorry, what I should have done was there. It starts on the 26th. It ends after 2 occurrences. Okay, 27th. Bang, all good. So we click OK. And what you see is that although we've set it as a public holiday, we still have our project manager working on that day. That's because there are a couple of things we have to do here before we get to see the project manager's task moved out until the 28th of December. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to go back to project information, and we need to set up our calendar is no longer standard, it is standard with public holidays, standard plus public holidays. So we select that and we select OK. Okay, so what you see here is that still hasn't changed the date the project manager is working. And that's because there's one last thing we need to do. Okay, the last thing we need to do here to make sure that the project manager doesn't work on the 26th of December is to make sure that his particular calendar is the standard calendar plus holidays, and we do that by going up to Task, Gantt Chart, and from Gantt Chart we select, instead of Gantt Chart, we select the resource sheet. Okay, we come to the resource sheet, and as you can see, because we already had these resources assigned to tasks before we created our calendar, they're all using the previous calendar, which was the standard calendar, and we have to go through and individually change them to standard plus holidays. Now, if we'd done this before we'd created any tasks, we wouldn't have this issue. And now we have to go through and change it for each resource in turn. So we just do that. Okay, so when that's all done, we just go back up here, we just select Gantt Chart again, we come through here, and we can see that the resource is now no longer working on Monday the 26th, but it's been moved out to the next working day, which is Wednesday the 28th. Now, if you look at your Gantt chart, you can see that the weekends, the Saturday and the Sundays, have this light grey flowing through them. Not super clear really, but obviously these are non-working days. To make it a little clearer, what you can do is you right click on your Gantt chart, you select the non-working time, you select a colour, and what you do, I suggest, is you select a slightly darker grey and you select the standard plus public holidays project calendar. Click OK, and you can see very clearly that Monday the 25th of December 2016 and Tuesday the 26th are now public holidays, and they are non-working days, and we can see that the task for the project manager has moved out to this date here rather than being on the working day here. And that is how you set up calendars.